Hello, I'm Stan Smith. Welcome to Is Not, Is To Art Studio, or my garage, whichever. It's either a garage where I do my artwork, or it's my art studio that my wife parks her car in the middle of. Either way, it's all good. Well, after the huge success of my last video, 3D Starry Night, I decided to step it up a notch and combine two famous paintings into one. The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali and The Scream by Edvard Munch. I thought these two paintings would go together nicely, even though one is surrealist and the other is expressionism, which I would explain as expressing your emotions or how you feel visually. And we all know how sometimes our emotions can be raw and hard to explain. Well, try to show someone how you feel with art, and you get expressionism. And Edvard's The Scream is a good example. He didn't just paint what he saw, but he painted what he felt. Speaking of this painting, in his diary dated January 22nd, 1892, he wrote, "The sun was setting and clouds turning blood red. I sensed a scream passing through nature. It seemed to me that I heard the scream." Now, I don't want to get all emotional on you, but I think I know what he's talking about. Now, was this scream of fear and dread, or was it perhaps of awe and wonder? Just like art is in the eye of the beholder, I say so is the meaning. Now take surrealism, which is often defined as dreamlike or unreal. Have you ever tried to explain a dream to someone? With some memories so clear and yet others so vague, you can't even develop a clear image in your own head, let alone explain it to someone else. So you just explain the dream with highlights, and either they get it or they don't. And that's surrealism, according to Stan. Dali's painting, with its tree and the pocket watch draped over the branch, and the other watch melting and pouring over the edge of what looks like a table, the very table that the tree is growing out of, and how he did this all in a 2D painting. So now I'm going to attempt to make his 2D that looks like a 3D into an actual 3D. Starting with the tree. There's something about trees that is always inspiring to me. From memories of climbing in them as a child to considering how God designed them in such a way that they, as well as other plants, create oxygen through photosynthesis. So they not only give us good stuff, they take away the bad stuff. God is good. Now this particular tree has seen better days. Perhaps Dali's way of showing the passing of time. My plan is for the tree to be leaning out a little bit, so I will be able to drape the pocket watch over the branch. So I drilled and tapped 2 holes and screwed these 2 studs into the back of the tree for what I hope will be a solid mounting. I feel like the tree and the watches will really add some good dimension to this piece. So besides the screamer himself, the boardwalk and railing are my other choices. So they need to stick out some. I found some 1/4-inch round dowel material, but I didn't think it would look good to just put them straight on the board. So I cut some grooves with my router, somewhat of an inlay. And the boardwalk as well will stick out some, and maybe even at a slight angle, and taper off into the sunset. At least that's how I see it in my head. At this point, you know as much as I do about how this is going to come out, because I edit my videos as I work on my art piece. So, cross your fingers. I have separated the sky from the rest of the piece, thinking that by sanding an uneven surface would give the sky some more depth. And when I glue them back together, I will set the sky back a bit. Okay, time to get started on the Screamer. I'm not sure if he is the star of the show, but the last time his painting went up for auction in 2012, it sold for nearly $120 million. Now, at some point in the near future, my version will be for sale, and I can safely say it will be somewhat cheaper. Let's let our Screamer chill for a while and make one of the melting pocket watches. So I started with a paper template, and this took a couple of tries to get it right, but once I was happy with it, I then cut it out of some 16-gauge carbon steel. Now I'm trimming that with some 1/8 round rod, welding it flush on the back and letting the rod stick out in the front. So far, so good. I've been telling myself, you've got this when it comes to making melting pocket watches. Not entirely sure why I would tell myself this when I've never done it before, and I'm guessing I never will again. But on the positive side, there's your incentive to watch the rest of the video. Let's see if I can pull it off. Okay, the fabrication is complete. Now it's time to paint it. It's true, I did have some confidence that I could make the watches, even though I still haven't entirely proven that. It's now time to show my painting skills, or lack of them. Again, you gotta keep watching if you want to know if I know what I'm doing. I'll give you a heads up. It's kinda yes and no, but that's okay, it's art. No one's gonna get hurt. I'm gonna play some music now, and then we'll put all the pieces together and see how it looks. I really do appreciate you sticking with me till the end of the video. Now I realize what you're probably thinking. Yeah, that's pretty cool and all, but who in the world would want to hang that in their house? Well, all I have to say about that is there only needs to be one. And if you see them before I do, would you tell them it's $300 plus shipping? Thanks.